Welcome back to Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. My name is Will. My phone is currently broken, and that is typically how I record my videos. And so I am trying a different type of content. Please do let me know what you think about this in the comments. If you are not subscribed to the channel and you could subscribe to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. And a quick shout out to our patrons and very many thanks to them. Let's jump right into this video. 5 Hong Kong actors who I think would make a great Batman. So, why am I thinking about this right now? I just finished reading Batman 89, which is a fantastic comic series. It was written by Sam Hamm, who was the screenwriter of Batman 89, and he came up with the story for Batman Returns. He was not the screenwriter on that film, but he did get a story credit. And he wrote a series that is a direct continuation of both Batman 89 and Batman Returns. And in the comic, we focus on Harvey Dent and his transformation into Two-Face, and Harvey Dent as played by Billy D. Williams in Batman 89. It's the same character, and we see his transformation into Two-Face, and the comic does such a good job of nailing the feel and the tone and the look of the Tim Burton Batman films. You get Michael Keaton as Batman, drawn like Michael Keaton, obviously, isn't there no actors involved in comic books, and Catwoman is in there. And you have the introduction of Robin, who's a really great character. The way they've done it, it's different than you typically see Robin being introduced into the movies or as you see him in the comics. It's very well done, but I thought this is one of the best Two-Face stories I had ever seen, if not the single best Two-Face story I had ever seen. So I was really taken with this comic, and I was thinking a lot about Batman, and it occurred to me that it might be cool to make a list of 5 Hong Kong actors who I think personally would make a great Batman. Please do let me know in the comments what your list would be, how it would differ from mine, what you think about these choices, and let's jump right into it. At number 5, I have Louis Koo, who's maybe an unorthodox choice. I just recently rewatched Election and Election 2. And this is what really convinced me that he would be a great Batman. He's handsome. He looks really good in his suit. He's very good at business in the Election films. If you've seen those films, you know what I'm talking about. His character is a very shrewd businessman. And he's very well educated. He's intelligent. He's well spoken. So I think he'd make a really good Bruce Wayne, a more kind of like mature Bruce Wayne, not old Bruce Wayne, but like middle-aged kind of Bruce Wayne. But in those films, he also has a very intense dark side. He has a lot of internal anger and rage and ambition that you can see in the character. And there's a darkness in the character and a willingness to do whatever he needs to do to meet his goals, no matter how brutal or dark it is, that I think would make him a really good Batman. So those two sides to that character convinced me that he could do a really good job playing both Bruce Wayne and Batman, which I think is really kind of the difficult thing about playing this character, is that you have to be able to play essentially 2 different characters, Bruce Wayne and Batman. At number 4 on my list of Hong Kong actors who I think would make a great Batman, I have T. Lung. When I started thinking about this list, he was just a really obvious choice to me. If you go back and you look at Shaw Brothers T. Lung, he's handsome, he's debonair, he's got a dignity and an elegance to him. I think he would look great in a tuxedo. I think he'd do a really good job playing Bruce Wayne. But if you've seen him in those old school Shaw martial arts movies, you know he kicks all kinds of ass. So you know that he would be absolutely awesome as Batman. I just think he'd look really good in the bat suit too, based on his physique, his size, his jawline. Like I think he would be a great Batman. And that was just a very obvious choice to me when I started thinking about making this list. At number 3, I have Bruce Lee. This is just pure wish fulfillment. That's like my whole pitch. Like, who doesn't want to see Bruce Lee as Batman just whooping the ever-loving shit out of criminals? I'm sorry, but that would just be amazing. I don't think this needs to be a long explanation here. Bruce Lee does have a mischievousness to him and a kind of a playfulness to him that I think would make him an interesting Bruce Wayne. But it's really just about Bruce Lee in the bat suit kicking the crap out of people. Now we get into my top 2. Number 3, I think I have a very unorthodox choice, and I think it's kind of casting a little bit against type, and it might sound kind of weird at first, but let me explain to you why I think this next Hong Kong actor would make a great Batman. The actor is Leslie Chung. I think Leslie Chung has a boyishness to him, or I should say had, excuse me, since he passed away. May he rest in peace. Leslie Chung had a boyishness to him, and he's very handsome and kind of cheeky and mischievous in a way, great sense of humor. that I think would make a great young Bruce Wayne. Kind of like Bruce Wayne in the phase of his life where the Christian Bale character is in Batman Begins, but a Bruce Wayne who's like out on the town, who's a playboy, who's charming, who's convincing people that this is his life, that all he does is spend his money and flirt with beautiful women and go to galas and donate money to charities and stuff like that. I think he'd be very, very good as putting on that face, the public face of Bruce Lee. But if you've seen Days of Being Wild, the Wong Kar-wai film, Leslie Chung's character in that movie is this kind of nihilistic, violent drifter who has a really strong penchant for self-destruction. And there's a scene in that movie where he really beats the crap out of somebody. And I can see that Leslie Chung being Batman. And there's a duality to him as an actor. I think he makes a very unorthodox choice, which I think makes him a really interesting choice. And I think he would be great playing those two sides of that character and really showing the kind of split personality, the face he puts on versus the rage and the anger and the nihilism and the self-destruction that is behind that. So he's number 2 on my list of 5 Hong Kong actors who I think would make a great Bruce Wayne. And now we have, or Bruce Wayne and Batman, excuse me, we've reached number 1 on my list of Hong Kong actors who I think would make a great Batman. And it's the only choice. It's the obvious choice. It's the choice that must be. It's Chow Yun-fat. I think Chow Yun-fat would be great in a trilogy of Batman movies. Let me break this down for you. In the first movie, it's like the beginning of A Better Tomorrow, Mark Gore, Chow Yun-fat. It's Chow Yun-fat as like the carefree, handsome, funny playboy. And it kind of like I explained with the Leslie Chung character, he's young, he's a playboy, he's out on the town, he's going to the galas, he's a philanthropist. But when he puts on the bat suit, he can break bones and kick ass. Then you have a second movie that's kind of the low point of the character, where he's frustrated and he's embittered and he's angry and he's vengeful and he's destructive. Tequila, hard-boiled Chow Yun-fat as Batman and as a kind of grizzled middle-aged Bruce Wayne. Then in a third film, he's kind of come to terms with things. He's less angry. You get the Killer or God of Gamblers or that Chow Yun-fat, like we see in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, who has a kind of inner peace to him, who has the ability to be violent and angry and threatening, but who's very charming, who's very suave, who's very debonair, who's very handsome. Chow Yun-fat is such a diverse and incredible actor. He's a physically imposing guy. He can manifest a lot of rage, anger, frustration, destruction, but he's also very funny. And I think that he can bring everything that needs to be brought to the role of both Bruce Wayne and Batman. So that's my list of 5 Hong Kong actors who I think would make a great Batman. Please do let me know in the comments what your list is and what you think about my list. My name is Will. You have been watching/listening to Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. I thank you so much for checking out this video, and we will see you next time.